Please join me in prayer. Great Spirit, we give thanks for this beautiful day. We give thanks for the life-giving rain. We give thanks for each person in attendance today, each beloved soul, a member of our spiritual family, a family of mutual support and love. We give thanks for this opportunity to gather together, to explore what it means to move our dream into action, to explore our own transformation as we come to a fuller realization of ourselves as divine beings, temporarily inhabiting a human body. So for this morning, I give thanks for this opportunity to be among beloved community. I give thanks. And so I just know that this time together unfolds perfectly, powerfully, joyfully, lovingly. So I just let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Good morning. Welcome. So nice to have you here this morning on this beautiful day. If you're new with us here online this morning, my name is Reverend Diana Johnson. I'm the pastor and spiritual director for Mystic Heart Spiritual Center. We're going to begin our Taizé journey this morning in musical prayer, and we thank Dalton for being here this morning to offer our music.
Lyrics will be appearing up there as well. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. Welcome home to your mystic heart. Lay aside whatever came before. Let your own intuition start to guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. To guide you to heaven's door. All that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. All that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. The love that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. The love that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. The peace that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. The peace that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. The joy that I desire is within me. And I give it birth. Oh, I give it birth. The joy that I desire is within me. I give it birth. I give it birth. 'cause all that I desire is within me, and I give it birth, I give it birth. All that I desire is within me, I give it birth, 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 I give it birth.
The power of creation. It is within me, within each one of us, forever working for the good of all beings. We settle into the stillness of this moment, breathing in the presence. That which connects us, and letting go of everything else. Fully awake, attending to this moment, and aware of a deep sense of gratitude for the privilege of being alive, of experiencing this beautiful planet. Grounding even more deeply into the timeless nature of your being. Feeling your oneness with the creative intelligence of the universe. And acknowledging your oneness with the global community. Sensing a web of consciousness that surrounds and infuses the planet. And in that web, each of us a radiant point of light. See with me now that all beings are beings of light. Every human, every other than human animal, every single plant, rock, grain of sand, bit of soil, every drop of water, infused and shining with Spirit's radiance. As far as the imagination can reach, out beyond our beautiful planet. All is one light, one life. Take a moment to breathe in that deep sense of connection. As a human expression, each of us is given the priceless gift of self-reflection and choice. In gratitude, I accept the responsibility of making choices wisely, of caring for my brothers and sisters, human and otherwise, caring for the Sacred Mother as she gives of her nourishment, making an honorable and noble contribution to life itself, leaving the world just a little more beautiful than I found it. I know that I am, that we are, by every thought, intention, word, and action, aiding in the transformation that is happening in our world. And I'm grateful for the privilege of being alive at this time in our history. This month, our contemplations are centered in the power of creation. And this morning, by our gathering and meditation, we're practicing the art of moving from dream to action. Each of us has dreams, things or experiences we wish to have, changes we wish to make, contributions we wish to offer the world. Some of our dreams may seem easy to bring to fruition. Others may seem more challenging. And still others may seem next to impossible. And yet we are told, and somewhere inside us we know, that all things are possible for one who believes. That we live in a world of infinite possibility. I am speaking this meditation now in the first person for myself and invite you to make it your own. It is sometimes tempting to see others as more capable than I. To believe that it is easier for another to bring a dream into reality than it is for me. To deem another lucky, or to blame fate for those dreams that have yet to come true. These are always options. To see myself and others in this way. If, on the other hand, I have a sincere desire to accomplish something, and I am willing to give the time and effort to achieve it, there are some qualities that will be called forth along the way. These are qualities that are available to all of us, although some may feel easier to access than others. The first quality has already been mentioned: willingness. Am I willing to give the time and attention required? To diligently redirect my thoughts, words, and actions to those that support my success. In other words, am I willing to be a different person at the other side of my accomplishment? Am I willing to imagine what that person will look, feel, and act like? Where in my life might I call forth a greater sense of willingness? once I become truly willing. I may notice that there are days that I wake up not wanting to take the next step. Now is a time for self-inquiry. What am I feeling? Maybe it's fear. I allow myself to feel it fully, to acknowledge its presence for a set amount of time. And then I summons my courage, the quality that allows me to feel the fear and do it anyway. To take the next step in the direction of my dream, though I may be trembling from head to toe. Is there somewhere in my life that fear is holding me back? In the midst of that fear, I call forth the quality of faith to steady me. I consciously place my faith in myself, my inherent capacities and goodness. I place my faith in the knowing that I am created in the image and likeness of my Creator. I place my faith in the knowing that all things are being turned to good, and in the power of creation to bring my heart's desires to fruition as I grow in awareness and an even greater willingness. Maybe I'm not feeling fear at all. Maybe my faith is strong. But rather, I recognize a habit or an attitude that is getting in my way. I allow myself to give into it for a bit, to see it for what it is. And then I call forth perseverance, the quality that allows me to feel pulled toward old habits and still take the necessary steps in the direction of my dream. Perseverance fuels my willingness to practice. It brings consistency. And in time, will create a new habit or pattern. One that will assist me in bringing my dream into action. Perhaps at another time it is not perseverance, but rather surrender that is called for. That quality that recognizes an attitude as less than helpful and then willingly lets it go. No longer is there a need to control outcomes or to have my preferences met to be happy. I can simply practice allowing things to be as they are without verbal or even mental commentary. And finally, in order to move from dream to action, I ground myself in the quality of love. I must discover love as my source. It is love that brought the desire in the first place. It is love that sustains me when the way becomes rocky. And it is love that will see me through. Bishop Michael Curry reminds us what kind of love is required. He says, "The love I'm asking you to reconnect to is something fierce. This love is a verb. It's an action with force and follow through. When we pull love out of the abstract, really put it to work, it starts to reveal its extraordinary power. Love as an action is the only thing that has ever changed the world for the better. And it is this kind of love that will ultimately bring our collective dream into action."
We all have dreams, some large, some small, some communal, and some that are very private. They all begin as a seed of desire planted in the imagination, an inner vision of a more beautiful expression of life for ourselves, for our family, or possibly for all of creation. As that seed of desire, that kernel of hope sprouts, our vision grows. The picture takes on more detail, more color. Our dream takes root in the fertile soil of imagination, and if we give it the freedom to do so, it begins to take on a life of its own. And it grows in directions we could never have anticipated. Like all life, our dream must be nurtured. An unattended garden soon withers and languishes. We sustain our dream with love, with optimism, with faith. We protect it from negativity by affirming the highest truth that we can even comprehend, that this dream within me is a creation of the Holy Spirit that dwells within us as us. At some point, we are called into action. Our dream urges us to pursue it, to do and to be whatever it takes to give it birth. There's a beautiful song that asks, "Ships are safe within the harbor, but is that what ships are for?" We are called to set sail on a sea of dreams, and our inner vision is the star that guides us. I invite you to think of a dream you have, a deep-seated desire that is alive within you, one that you may not have yet acted on. See it for the divine creation that it is. Know that God planted that seed in your imagination. And as we share our 3 minutes of silent contemplation, renew the vision in your heart-mind. Look for new details, fresh nuances. How has it evolved? Give it all the love you have, all your faith, and ask it to reveal what it needs from you. O divine beloved, Holy Parent of all of creation, thank you for this dream you have given me. Thank you for inspiring me to pursue my dream, and for the awareness that my dream serves the highest and best for all. Thank you for the love and encouragement of this beloved community. May we always have the courage to dream big. It is not selfish to pursue your dreams. It is why you are here. And when you do follow your heart, you empower others to do so as well. As co-creators, our dreams are all intertwined and interconnected. Your realization of your vision may just help my dream come true as well. Returning now to Reverend Diana's inspiring Taizé message, we open our hearts, our minds, and our imagination to receive the divine wisdom it has to offer us. And where we are empowered to proceed from dream to action.
In her book, How We Learn to Be Brave, Decisive Moments in Life and Faith, Bishop Marianne Buddy suggests that in every life there arise many opportunities to learn, to grow, to learn to be brave, if that is the path we choose. To move from dream to action requires us at some point to decide to start. Despite the fears, the habits, the attitudes or mistaken beliefs we may be carrying. It asks that we learn to accept what we do not choose when our preferences are not being met. It invites us to step up to the plate in service to the other, even when we don't feel like it or think we have what it takes, especially when we don't feel like it or think we have what it takes. It demands that we persevere through the inevitable letdowns that come our way. And ultimately, it requires that we ground ourselves in a fierce, radical, active love. The kind of love that Paul calls us to in the book of 1 Corinthians. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious, or boastful, or arrogant, or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rejoices in the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, and endures all things. Love never ends. And so we close in prayer. One source, one life, one love, eternal, no beginning and no ending. I am that. You are that. And so I move into the week living from that. Love embodied. That is all. I live every moment grounded in the presence of the fierce, active love of Spirit. My thoughts, words, and actions reflect and express only love. I am gratitude in action. I am humility in action. I am reverence in action. In my awakening, I am peace in action. Om Shanti Om. And so it is. Amen.
Still my mind, be at peace. In my awakening, I release with my heart, free my soul. In my awakening, I am whole. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Be In my awakening, I release with my heart, free my soul. In my awakening, I am whole. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
So we begin to bring our awareness back now to our bodies, to our senses, to the space, to our community. And as you feel ready, to gently open your eyes and take in whatever is before you. Feel free if you want to look around and really see the beautiful souls that are here gathered with you this morning. As we close our Taizé this morning, we offer the opportunity for you to share your financial good in support of the work that we're doing in the world. And if you're joining us online this morning, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find a donate button and a mailing address. As we offer this time for the practice of circulation this morning, Dalton, what are you going to share with us?
Let's try that again. You can never really know which way it's gonna go. So set your feet down on the road, facing the unknown. Staring through an open door, like you never left the shore. walk on through, there's so much more to find. It's all you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure. You can carry all the weight of your past mistakes. But that's a heavy load to bear. Just pack what you can take. Standing on the precipice, you know there must be more than this. Leaning into all that is divine. 'Cause all you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are. As I weave this tapestry, thread by thread, uniquely me, slumbering within the sea is everything I'll ever need. Awakening, all you ever need to bring, an open mind, a willing heart, the song that you were born to sing. Be a candle in the dark, one step is all it takes to start. To be the adventure you are. You are, you are, you are the adventure.
So we give thanks for these gifts of spirit that come through your hands, your hearts, your lives, and make their way into this community where they can be grown and expanded and returned back out into the world. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you to each one. So it is. All right. Ah, it feels so good to be back full strength this week.
Yay.
Yay! So, if you aren't going to be with us until the end of conversation and into lunch, our tickets are on sale for our St. Patty's Day dinner and dance party. Starting today, we have 20, 21, 19, 18 left. So, it's going to be on March 14th. It's a Friday night from 6 to 9. We're doing a corned beef and cabbage 4-course dinner, and we have Tommy Johnson, DJ extraordinaire, doing our music, spinning vinyl, and we're going to turn this into all of our rooms into dinner house and dance floor, and our lights will be blasted, and it'll be a good time. So, just so you know, that's out there. There's some other things in the bulletin up front that are coming up in March, so you might want to take a look at that. And then if you're here to the end of conversation, you'll get the full invitation. So, but for now, let's have you sing us on our way to either coffee or the rest of our Sunday.
Light of God has disco mode, which is very interesting. So good to see that.
Yes, it does.
May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find it everywhere. May you always embrace compassion, grace, and may God always answer. A little louder this time. May your soul always find what it's looking for. May your heart always lead the way. May you live in peace and harmony. And may love always fill your day. May your path be strewn with happiness. May success find you everywhere. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers. May you always embrace compassion and grace, and may God always answer your prayers.
Thank you, Dalton. He'll be here the second half too. Help yourself to coffee or tea if you'd like, and join us at 10:30 for a conversation.
All right, so that was a nice break. Let's recenter. Join me in prayer as we know together that Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in every place, but Spirit, especially this morning, walked in on your feet and dwelling in your heart. So I give thanks for each member of our beloved community here today. I give thanks for everyone joining us online. And I just know that this time together is enriching. This time together moves us forward in our spiritual growth and development and evolution. And it helps bring our dreams into action. So knowing our time together unfolds perfectly, powerfully, joyfully, and lovingly, I just say, thank you, God. I thank you to each one here. I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is. Amen.
All right, there's some lyrics popping up there on the screen. Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Join the celebration. Lift your voice and sing your part. Make this affirmation. Spirit made us family with loving hearts to share. And together we are joyfully practicing the possible through prayer. Welcome to the Mystic Heart. Everybody, get up on your feet. Say the light. Everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. Share the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light.
I thought God was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Well, life was out to get me, that's the way it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams.
But then I
Felt your grace, now I'm a believer. There's not a trace of doubt in my mind. God is love, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave you if I tried. I thought love was more or less a given thing. Seemed the more I gave, the less I got. Ooh, what's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Then I felt your grace. Now I'm a believer. There's not a trace of doubt in my mind. God is love, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave you if I tried. Clap your hands. What's the use in trying? All you get is pain. When I needed sunshine, I got rain. Then I felt your grace. Now I'm a believer. There's not a trace of doubt in my mind. God is love. Ooh, I'm a believer. I couldn't leave if I tried. Oh, then I felt your grace. Now I'm a believer, and there's not a trace of doubt in my mind. 'Cause I'm a believer. Yeah, I'm a believer. I'm a believer. Yeah.
Good morning, good morning. Now we're moving. Now we're moving. Get that body engaged as we take part together in our practice of visioning a love-soaked world. Taking a nice deep breath. Feeling the presence of life infusing, moving through the body. Feel and know with me now a world in which all humans are living from their deepest wisdom and their most generous nature. Thoughtful of the impact that their thoughts and words and actions have on one another, on the community, and on the planet. Remembering that every thought, word, and action does have an impact, does leave an imprint. This is a world where all needs are met gracefully and easily because we've learned to live according to our own generous nature. Where all beings have plenty of nourishing food, warm, comfortable, and affordable housing, a sense of safety and belonging, a world where mental and physical health, education, and healthy relationships are well supported by systems grounded in integrity and wholeness,
Amen.
where honesty rules the day. This is a world in which all beings work and play at whatever feeds their souls and are well compensated for their service, are valued and respected for their inherent goodness, where authenticity and vulnerability are welcomed and celebrated, where the peace that we cultivate within us shows up around us as a world free of hatred and violence.
Amen.
Feel and know with me now a world without greed, where generosity is the norm, and where every being receives all that is needed for a full and contented life. By the power of our collective intention, our powerful imagining, and our inspired action, we are writing a new story. We're creating a world that works for all beings. We grant no power to appearances, knowing that transformation is underway, here and now. Whatever it may look like, we know that all is always being turned to good. So we walk in gratitude, respect, reverence, and humility, acknowledging the sacred in everyone and in everything, planting seeds of peace. It is through our hands and feet and hearts and voices that positive change is happening in the world. As we align our actions with our vision, living these changes in our own lives, in our own families, with our neighbors, in our communities. This community stands as an open and welcome place to all who seek support, belonging, and a sense of family. It redefines church as a place of self-discovery, authenticity, kindness, and love. We're guided to the truth that lies within every heart. By the creative power of our deep knowing and our clear vision, our inspired action, this prayer is acted upon here and now, even as it is spoken. In full acceptance of its reality, with the deepest gratitude, we release our word to the one who gets it done, and so it is. Amen. Ashe, Aho, whatever your preference. Take a moment to bask in that powerful creative energy. Feels so good. Look around and say good morning. Some left, some came. Hey! Hey! Good to see everybody here today. So if you were here with us for Taizé this morning, this will be a little tiny review, and if you weren't, it'll be a little tiny fill-in. You'll know that our topic for reflection and conversation this morning is From Dream to Action. From dream to action. We said that it can be tempting to see others as more capable than we. To believe that it's easier for some others to bring a dream into reality than it is for us. We might deem another person luckier than we are. Tempting to blame fate for those dreams that have not yet unfolded. Then we considered that if there is a sincere desire to accomplish something and a willingness to give time and effort to achieve it, because that's required for all of us, not just some of us, there are some additional qualities that will also be called forth along the way. So willingness is a starting place. And there are all kinds of things we have to be willing to do to move from dream to action. We also contemplated the possibility that self-inquiry will serve us well along in that process, and that courage and faith and perseverance and surrender will likely play a part. Finally, we said that in order to move from dream to action, for me to move in that way, I must be willing to ground myself in the quality of love. I shared a quote from Bishop Michael Curry, who says this: "The love I'm asking you to reconnect to is something fierce. This love is a verb. It's an action with force and follow through. When we pull love out of the abstract and really put it to work, it starts to reveal its extraordinary power. Love as an action is the only thing that has ever changed the world for the better. And I suggested that love is what will ultimately bring our dream into action. So that brings us to a jumping off point for our conversation this morning. At the very end of Taizé, I made some statements that were based on several sections of Bishop Marianne Buddy's latest book. And that book is called How We Learn to Be Brave, Decisive Moments in Life and Faith. If you're not familiar with that name, she was the bishop who spoke at the day of prayer, the day after Inauguration Day this year, and at the tail end of her sermon spoke directly to the new president, asking for mercy in all kinds of forms for all kinds of people. It was very powerful. And this book is fantastic. I've really enjoyed reading it. But it's called How We Learn to Be Brave, Decisive Moments in Life and Faith. And she suggests that in every life there arise many opportunities, of course, to learn and to grow, to learn to be brave, and that courage or bravery is something that we acquire, that we can learn. There were 4 chapter titles that I used in my closing of Taizé today, and I'd like to dive into a conversation based on those titles. Okay? Caught up? Are we ready? All right. So when moving from dream to action, what's the first step? What would you imagine would be the first step in moving from a dream into action?
Imagination.
Okay, imagination certainly would come into play within the creation of that dream.
Setting a clear intention.
Setting a clear intention, okay?
Speaking it.
Speaking it, all right?
Making a list.
Making a list, all right?
I was going to say, researching the steps needed, the first steps needed in order
Okay,
to get it going.
all right. Researching the first steps needed to get it going.
And letting it be an adventure.
Letting it be an adventure. These are all great.
Making a
Steps.
clear decision to do it.
First,
What did he say?
making a clear decision
Clear decision.
to do it in the first place.
Yes, breaking down the walls of doubt
Oh.
to make the dream come true, like maybe real walls.
Oh, there we go, breaking down the walls of doubt so that we make a dream come true.
Yeah, thanks to St. Romy and St. Bob and
Yes.
many others.
St. Bob, St. Romy, St. Bob, St. Michael, St. Christopher.
Chris,
Yes.
St.
Diana.
the whole congregation.
St. James.
St. Diana, of course.
Okay, so despite our fears we might have, our uncertainty, our insecurities, our habit patterns that
Yeah.
might get in our way, despite all of that, a clear decision is made, and that starts us potentially on our journey. So, anybody know what the Tao Te Ching has to say about this very process? Anybody familiar with the Tao?
A trip of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Yes. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So no matter what that journey is. Okay, so what comes prior to the single step was the
Decision.
decision. Okay.
Decision.
Is that like commitment?
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh,
C word.
C word. Ooh. Right next to responsibility. Ooh, yeah, okay. So what kinds of things get in the way of making a decision to start?
Doubting yourself.
Okay, self-doubt.
Listening to others tell you you can't do it.
Oh, listening to others telling you you can't do it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do it. This is not yours to do.
Or do you know what's gonna happen if you
Do you know what's gonna happen? I've told some of these things.
Our willingness.
Our willingness or unwillingness.
Right.
Gets in the way of making that decision.
The feelings get into the way of making it.
The
too.
feelings, all kinds of feelings can get in the way
Uh-huh.
of making that decision. Yeah.
Fear?
Fear can get in the way.
Shoulds.
Shoulds or shouldn't.
Shouldn't.
What we might have to give up.
What we might have to give up. Ooh. Want to think about that.
Maybe some unaddressed behavioral patterns.
Unaddressed. Uh-oh.
Be more vague.
Just ask those around you.
Yeah.
They'll help
Address
point them out
Yeah.
for you.
I would.
Self-doubt.
Okay, self-doubt. So all kinds of things can get in the way of making that decision. How about busyness? I'm just too busy right now to even focus on that, right?
Yes, how we distract ourselves from.
Distractions,
That's one of those things.
yeah.
That's a mask for fear of doing it, I think.
Yeah, oftentimes that's a mask for the fear of making a step.
And it's another C word I might have to change.
Uh-oh, might have to change. Well, yes,
You'll have to time it well too.
you have to time it well, yeah. For sure, there's a better time or a less good time to start new things.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Oh, procrastination. How about indecisiveness?
Yes.
I just
Yes,
don't
no,
know.
yes, no,
Yeah.
yes, no, yeah.
Any other kinds of excuses creep in? We may
I'm
go-
too old, I'm too young.
Too old, too young.
I just don't know if I have the time or the energy for that.
I don't know if I have the time or the energy with
Said
it.
no, April, ever.
Do I have all the equipment that I need?
Oh, do I have all the equipment or other resources that I need? Not enough money. So, yeah.
You have to make time to make those decisions move forward.
To make the time to make the decision. What
We
about,
kind of hide behind that. Oh.
Yeah. it's really easy, I can say from experience, it's really easy to want to slip into, but I've never done this before.
Right.
I don't know how.
Yeah, that one.
I
Yeah,
don't know
I
how.
don't know how.
There.
So I won't even try. Yeah. All of these things.
Ouch.
Ouch. Owning that one. she
Yes,
says,
owning
yeah.
that one, ouch.
So do you think the call to start comes all at once?
No.
No.
No. How do you
Baby
think
steps.
that more often what happens? Mark?
Personal history drags you back.
Okay. So personal history gets involved in there?
I think what happens for me often is that I drag my feet and I drag my feet and finally the dream starts dragging me. What's that old saying,
Yes.
those who go willingly, the gods lead, and those who don't, they drag?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, that can happen, Sheree.
I do think taking that first step though reinforces how you feel about it and the next step, because you've gotten some positive feedback, some momentum
Yeah.
to where it gives you that strength for, well, what's the next step? And
Right.
so,
Yeah, taking the first step builds your desire and your strength and your faith so that maybe you can take the next step. Michael? And then
Being tired of the denial that things just aren't working.
okay, so just getting tired of this denial that things just are not working.
Sometimes there's that thing of I have to have everything planned out perfectly before I begin.
Yes, all ducks must be in a row.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, people
How's that
do
work
that
for
with
you?
children.
Yeah.
People,
Ducks don't like to be in a
No,
row. in
no.
case you didn't know that.
a lot of people say, oh, I'm gonna have a baby when I get my career done, when I buy a house, and they end up never having kids at all because they keep postponing it.
So postponing things, procrastinating, starting.
Someday I,
I like what Sherry said about that first step, and it envisioned in me making a path and knowing that this next step is on my path and I'm
Yeah.
creating it.
Yeah. So this desire to start something might start as just a whisper. And then over time, it may gain volume and it may gain urgency within us. The drive, the urge might get stronger over time. And the thing is though, it will drag us if we don't take action. I know this one also from experience. And the other thing about it is once we know that this is a call that we have, we can't not follow it. The universe, by whatever name you want to call it, isn't going to let you. If it's a call that you're meant to follow, you're going to be summoned. There's a quote by, who was this? Oh, again, from the How We Learn to Be Brave. She says, we feel summoned by a presence and an energy not our own. And if we don't follow it, then things will begin to happen, to drag you along or to push you and move you in a direction. So in a true decision to start, the shift might be imperceptible to anybody outside of you. May not even be noticeable to anybody else. There's not very much drama around a decision to start, a true decision to start, because it often will require that we stay put for a while to make preparations within ourselves, to get some education, or to gather our resources or whatever we need to do. So it might not even be noticeable that we've made the decision within ourselves. On the other hand, there are times when you make that decision and it speaks loudly for itself and you can't even hide it if you wanted to. All right, so now we've decided to start. What can get in the way of taking the first steps? We've made the decision, we've made the clear, but
Perceiving obstacles that may not be there, supposing
Okay.
your first step clears those obstacles,
all
and
right,
it becomes an adventure with each step.
okay, so
and it's-
perception of obstacles, which may even be a misperception of obstacles. Yeah,
Ignore the naysayers.
ignore the naysayers,
Mm-hmm.
for sure,
Can't be done.
yeah.
Those people that say it can't be done.
Mhm.
I know for me, a lot of times I want to know the outcome before I take that first step. And
Yeah,
it reminds me of Martin Luther King, you don't have to see the whole staircase, you just need to know where to put your foot on that first stair.
right. Yeah, so we want to know what the outcome's gonna be. We want some kind of a reassurance that our dream is actually going to come to fruition. And it's going to look this particular way,
Yeah,
by
it's
the
gonna
way.
look the way we want it to look.
And that's sure going to get in the way too.
And to look not so much on the outside, but on the inside. Yes, I
Okay.
can keep my balance as I take this next step.
Yeah, I can keep my balance. So some self-assuredness is required. But what can get in the way, when I was thinking of, well, what things come up for me, fear can get in the way, uncertainty and insecurity and lack of resources, all these things we've talked about. Unworthiness. Can unworthiness get in the way?
Yes.
We have a pattern running through our lives that we may or may not even know is in that shadow. Yeah. Habits and attitudes.
I typically have unworthiness present as I don't have enough blank
Mm-hmm.
for whatever I need to
Right.
start the thing or
Yeah.
to do the thing. It could be education when I have plenty. It could be money when I have plenty. It doesn't matter what I
Right.
could name right now.
Yeah,
It's not a real thing.
right,
Going back to what April's saying, it's,
Mhm.
it's my behavior, it's past things
right,
that I haven't removed.
yeah,
So on the surface level, I just pretend it's this and somehow out of reach.
right. Not enough time is a big one. for
Yes.
A lot of people.
You know, you can say, I'll step into the thing when I'm ready. And then you can, your own self, impose all these steps upon
Yes.
yourself that you must complete, all these certificates you must obtain, all these things that you have to do in order to make yourself worthy, enough, ready. You could do that forever and then
Yes.
never actually step into being
Right.
anything. And in some of the classes I've taken, they talk a lot about fraud syndrome, right? I have all this, but really, am I good enough to do this? Am I actually helping anyone? Can you know? All these things you impose upon yourself, but that fraud syndrome is a positive,
Yeah.
especially in people who are in healing or service industries, different things. That's a positive because if you don't have any kind of doubt, you are in a lot of ego.
Right,
If you
Yeah.
think you have everything the world needs and you just need to
Yes.
give it to them, maybe that's a negative. So I find those places in me to be places of self-exploration. Why is that coming up for me and what are my intentions? But you just have to do the thing to be the thing.
right,
Otherwise, you're never going to step into that end result dream, that goal. I could think of a million reasons not to do anything.
but Nike,
Just do it.
had it, just do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you're ready to take that first step and then all of a sudden there's two different directions.
Mhm.
And so you have to make a decision on which direction are you going to go.
Right.
And there's that fear of, well, what if I choose the wrong one?
The universe will whack you the other direction. At least that's been my experience. I thought I was going one way and
Gently.
oh, you're going over
Gently.
here. Yeah,
Gently.
that's my, now I know that. Yeah.
I'm
Now I
done with
know
the
that.
2x6.
Right.
You give me a nice signal first, and you'll just
Right.
merge over, so.
And I will actually receive the signal now when they come, yeah. Ideally, that's. Sometimes it's a need for control that gets in our way. Sometimes it's laziness that gets in our way.
You know, the control thing, I think even the dream sometimes is, for myself, the fulfillment of that dream isn't even actually what was, wasn't true. It was part of the direction to go.
Right,
This is the dream I'm having.
yeah,
Oh, let's go chase that.
right.
And then, oh, look at that dream. That's that dream I actually
Right.
want, not that one.
Yeah.
So,
So is it the true calling?
mhm,
Is this what my heart really deeply feels called
right.
to do? Is this the thing that I can't not do? Because it's who I am.
I love the analogy, we've all ridden bicycles, and the chain on the bicycle goes in a circle with these teeth, you know, and as you could think of it like a clock. And I've always noticed in riding a bicycle that if I put the pressure or exert the effort at say o'clock, 1, 2, and 3 o'clock, then often that momentum will carry me back to the top, and it comes again. And I love the idea that it's a circular motion,
Yeah,
and life is pretty much that same way. Sure, we may not know where this path is going to lead, but with faith, we know we'll get back to the apex of that circle, and that's where we are, and it'll perpetuate.
yeah, exactly. So the pathway is not always clear. In fact, it's rarely clear when we start out what that pathway's gonna look like. The only way to have the next steps revealed is what?
Take them.
Keep walking.
Forward.
Move forward.
You're not gonna
One
find out
step
what's
at a
there if you
time.
don't step to it.
That's right. The horizon line that we can see goes further and further out the more we move forward.
And up and down.
And up and down.
It's like being on a boat.
So in this book, one of the chapter titles was Accept What We Do Not Choose. So, once we've heard and answered the call and taken the first steps along the way, from dream to action, we're often asked to accept what we do not or would not choose. Who in this room has mastered the art of accepting what we do not and would not choose? Got it down? No matter what it is?
Well, every time I call my daughter and she doesn't answer the phone because she's too busy, I go, it is what it is, I accept it and I love her anyway. And
Okay.
that's what I have to remind myself every time.
Well, then you are a master among many, because I have not mastered that one yet. I'm working on that.
I'm guessing I haven't mastered it because God keeps giving me more opportunities.
Opportunity. Another thing that I would not choose. Okay. So what are some of the typical ways we respond if we haven't mastered that? What are some of the ways we respond to unexpected things that we
Frustration.
would not choose? Frustration,
Anger.
Shock.
anger, shock,
Not getting our way.
not getting our way. Oh, temper tantrums.
I knew that would happen.
I knew that.
Murphy's Law.
Murphy's Law.
That's not fair.
That's not fair.
When is
Yeah.
it my turn?
When's it my turn? How about denial?
Yes.
It's not really happening that way. It might look like it is, but it's not happening that way. How about pouting?
Oh,
How about quitting?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, take my marbles and go home.
Take my marbles and go home. Sour grapes. What else? Anything else?
Well, that's also giving up on your dream. when
That's
you do
also
that.
giving up on your dream. So,
at some point, it comes down to just faith that God knows what needs to be next, and that maybe I need to take a walk down this path for a little while.
humble up, as Carolyn Mace would say. Maybe I need to humble up right now and just pay attention.
Well, Eckhart Tolle said it pretty well, that if it's something that happens to you that you just can't change, then embrace it like you asked for it, because
Right.
this is your only option
Yeah.
unless you tear yourself apart.
Or-
Just,
yeah.
this is it. This is what it is.
You either walk away and
Right.
separate yourself and say,
Right.
okay, or you accept and embrace it.
Yeah, if you can't walk away from it, what's the best path?
Yeah. What about blaming? Do we ever blame when things arise?
No.
No.
What's that? Blame?
Do we ever make excuses
Oh, yeah.
for why this
Plenty
must?
of them.
Yeah, Mark?
I'll just mention that accepting something, even if it's uncomfortable, is also an opportunity to embrace this change.
Yes, yeah, so acceptance. So this is the segue to my next question, because I'm wanting to know what qualities would be more helpful when faced with that which we would not choose. So acceptance would be very helpful.
Surrender.
Surrender,
Looking what we can learn from it.
looking for what we can learn from it.
Faith that I am guided in the right way.
Faith that I am guided in the right way. Patience.
Well, I'm pretty sure most of us in here can say that there was something that we did not or would not have chosen for ourselves that led us to a better place, actually, or a
Right.
place of growth or healing. Because honestly, who would really choose the harder, rougher way
Right.
when the softer, easier way is more comfortable?
Right.
But where is the growth and where is the healing on the smoother, softer path?
Right.
given my own power over the universe, I would choose the most comfortable thing all the time for me. But I would stay exactly as I am and nothing would bother me. And I would also never change or grow.
Yeah, that's right.
Comfort can be a deep hole. Huh?
It can be a really deep hole, yeah. So, you know, becoming the observer, gaining some humility, just looking at objectively at what's being offered. These are all beneficial states of mind, attitudes. So the next chapter in her book says that as we're making this journey from dream to action, you can bet that at some point we're going to be asked to step up to the plate, to do something that we would rather not do, but that it's clear we're being asked to step up to the plate in this way. So what gets in the way of our peaceful acquiescence to step up when we're called to something we really don't want to do?
I was thinking about that, stepping up to the plate. You learned all the baseball rules, you learned how the game is played, now someone sticks a bat in your hand and says,
Right.
go man, go. The first thought you might have is, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready. That one sure can get in the way.
I'm gonna swing and miss.
I'm gonna swing and miss, set myself up ahead of time by my own thoughts for failure.
I'm afraid of failure.
Afraid of
Yeah.
failure, yeah.
Did I really want to do this?
Did I really want to do this?
Whose idea was this?
Yeah.
That's the swallowed by the whale moment up.
I have known that thought from time to time. Was I accurate? Yeah.
Is this what
What the hell was
I,
thinking?
What the hell was I thinking?
is
Yeah.
this really what I signed up for?
Right, yeah. So all kinds of mind chatter and resistance can get in the way. What qualities might we call forth to help us, again, move forward through the apparent obstacle of being asked to step up to something that we don't want to do or feel ready to do?
I still love that word adventure, and that was
Okay.
brought up earlier in the first section.
Yeah,
And we have to invite this adventure.
yeah.
It's ours to choose.
So a shift in perception from
Yes.
challenge to adventure.
Attitude.
Attitude is everything.
Discipline.
Discipline. Ooh, D, another D word.
I think it's helpful to circle back to our why.
Okay.
Why we were drawn to that in the first place.
Right.
And deeply connect to that part, space.
Yeah.
How important it is for us to show up for that.
Yeah. So circle back around to the why. Why was it that I was called to this, or that I answered this call, or that I took these steps in the first place? So, these qualities that keep coming up, is this sounding repetitious?
Yeah.
Because as I was writing, I'm like, this is repetitious. So inevitably, Bishop Buddy suggests in another chapter titled that we will likely experience letdowns along the way. Right? What kind of things might she be talking about? We've got a dream, we've made the decision, we've taken some steps. We're asked to step up to the plate over and over again, and then there are letdowns.
It doesn't show up as you intended it or thought it would be.
It's not showing up the way I thought it would show up.
It's taking more work than I thought it was gonna need to do.
It's taking so much more work than I ever dreamed it would take.
It went out of my head.
How about it's taking more time than I expected it to? I should have already by now.
Right? It's taking more time than I expected. I should already be there by now.
Not seeing results.
I'm not seeing results.
something that I used to have a tendency to do is to think that I needed to maintain control of everything. And so during those letdowns, it's like, what happened? And I came to learn that if I just step back, things tend to move in an orderly manner, but not if I'm trying to say how they have to move.
Right.
So God's gonna get me there, but I don't get to set the path every time.
So you have to pop that little illusion of control.
Yeah.
Just let it go in divine order at the pace that it's wanting to go.
Yes.
Surrender.
Oh, surrender. God, this is repetitious, isn't it? We just keep coming back to patience and allowing and surrender and humility.
And it's perseverance and focus, and it's like
Perseverance.
It's dualistic in some ways, right? It's balanced.
Yeah,
We have to take the steps, we have to think, but at
Right.
the same time, we have to let go.
yeah.
Of holding the end goal while letting go of the journey.
Okay.
Like for me, I have this end thing I see, but how I'm going to get there, I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
We had this discussion yesterday in our home where someone was asking me to make plans, very timelined out things, and I got so irritated because it seemed like such a waste of my time to plan out the thing. I don't want to do that. I just want to go. But the point for me, how I am personally, is if I hold on to like these things in between, then I am putting blinders on myself to any other forks
Right.
in the road or
Yeah.
any other things. And so long as I work on making sure that I am the right person, developing myself, what do I need to do to change, to heal, to grow, to become that person who is ready to step into that thing when I reach it, I got no idea how I'm getting there.
Right.
And I think it's kind of like a calming thing for me, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, not my problem.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it.
Spirit led, just,
Yeah, I don't have to worry about the steps, I just gotta take them.
right. Mark?
Surrender is a good concept that we all must do moment to moment. Surrender to the time, surrender to the fact that my heart has just contracted and now it's resting.
Right.
My breath has been drawn in and blown out, and that moment is an opportunity for surrender. We'll have another breath. We're giving up,
Right.
but we're getting also. The surrender makes possible the receiving.
Right, exactly. Some of the other letdowns that came up for me as I was contemplating for today, what about having to begin again? You've made all these steps and all of a sudden you feel like you're back at day one.
But you're not,
You're not,
because
really.
you're a
but-
different person.
Right, but it can feel that way.
Yeah.
Starting over, falling down and having to get back up in whatever way. That can look like a lot of things. It can look like mistakes made that create problems in your process. It could be mistakes made with other people that create misperceptions about you and what you meant, and, you know, it can be all kinds of things. David?
Sitting in the wrong chair can definitely amplify that.
Oh, we had a chair that was a little weak this week and David sat in it and went over backwards. That can get in your way for sure. April?
Someone once told me that life is like, you know, anything's like running a marathon. The end result is way out there. And as you're running, if you fall, if you stumble and you fall down, would you get up, run back to the starting line, and start the race again?
No.
Or would you get up, dust
keep
yourself
going.
off, and
Right.
keep running? So
Keep going,
maybe
yes.
it's instead of a starting over, or it's just a continuation from where you
Yeah.
stumbled or
Right.
perceived stumble.
Yeah.
But I'm not running all the way back.
No. I'm with you. There's no going back. What about the letdown of someone else someone else getting in your way. Can that be a letdown? When you don't, you know, I don't believe that this person would ever do something to get in my way, and
They didn't let down.
then they do.
Remove them.
Remove them. Or remove yourself from their presence, yes.
I know the growth thing just comes back again, it's just like, okay, what is this here for? This is here for teaching me something.
Right.
What is this dream that I have, and how is
Yeah.
this assisting me in either determining if that is a real dream?
Right.
Or, you know, the growth that I need to fulfill that dream.
Yeah, yes.
It's there on purpose.
It's there. If it's before me, it's for me.
Yes. That idea of, you know, you're stepping into this newness and becoming this new thing. And there may be others around you that go, no, we want you
Right.
in this hole, like
Yeah.
this peg, you know.
Right.
That's how we
This is
see
your
you.
peg.
Yeah,
Don't move.
yeah, stay in your lane and
Right. Yeah,
that kind
yeah. So all these things are real experiences that we can have that can feel like real letdowns. Especially when they're people that we love, people that we care about, that we've had relationship with, and then suddenly we're being told to stay in your lane, or, you know, your peg fits right there.
Sometimes, you know, people want us to stay where they're comfortable with us
Right.
being.
Yeah.
And sometimes our dream means we have to let them down in that sense, because
Right.
we're being called to change. But other times, people get in our way or impede us, and it's a call to change direction.
Yes,
So we have to know,
right.
you know, and
Yeah, what
We
is
have to
this
know when
person
to-
getting in my way telling me? Is it telling me this isn't the dream at all? Is it telling me it's the dream, but it's not this way, it's that way? It's not with these people, it's with those? So a lot of self-inquiry and discernment.
Isn't that where your intuition would come in
Yeah,
to be the
yes.
awakening?
Yeah, get out of your head. Drop down into your heart and into your gut. Pay attention to what's going on there. Mark?
Yes, I drive in from Shingletown to come to church, and it's a two-lane road both ways, and I'm making good time with my momentum and everything, then another car pulls out and gets in front of me and is much slower than I want to go. I have to learn, this is my opportunity to recenter myself. Don't be concerned about that person.
Right.
And, you know, just for
Yeah.
the safety factor, give them space. How often have I pulled in front of someone else? It
Right.
happens all the time, let's face
Yeah.
it.
But what I can control is me.
Yeah.
That's it, right here. Whatever's going on.
So probably something was occurring for your higher good, but in your way of looking at it, you're going, oh, they're impeding me.
Right, they're getting in my way.
But,
You know, they're
right.
causing me to.
But not
resent.
knowing what comes around the next bend, you might be right where you needed to be instead of it being a,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the ego thing. Hey, that was my space. And really, that's just an ego assumption. And like David says, it's very possible that had I not slowed down, something bad could have happened. So acceptance is my way of rebalancing into the present.
okay, so ultimately bringing a dream into action requires, and we said this during Taizé, requires that we ground ourselves in a fierce, radical, active love. I love that, fierce, radical, active love. Author Sue Monk Kidd wrote, "When you get down to it, that's the only purpose grand enough for a human life. Not just to love, but to persist in love." So perseverance and persistence are qualities to call forth as well. What is perseverance?
Steadfast.
Steadfastness, Okay.
Positive stubbornness.
Positive stubbornness, stubbornness directed in a positive way.
I'm gonna use that.
Determination.
Dedication to a purpose.
Dedication to a purpose, determination,
Determination.
Doing it anyway.
doing it anyway. So the Latin roots go back to meaning to abide by strictly. Perseverance, to abide by strictly.
So what you're saying is, the first time things get a little bit hard or uncomfortable,
Mhm.
I can't just give up and go home?
You cannot.
Well, you can, right?
Not if I actually really want the thing. on
Not
the
if
other
you
side.
really want to bring that dream into action.
Determination, stubbornness, they can be positive.
They can. Whenever a parent would come in working with kids and say that their kid was stubborn, I would say, they're very determined. They have a lot of perseverance, and that's a positive quality.
And that's something we can develop too, right? It's like
Yeah.
not just the courage and bravery, but
Right.
even the perseverance.
Yes, it's definitely a skill that can be developed if we're willing to do the work, to build it, for sure. Why is perseverance important, and how does it help move our dream to action?
The likelihood that we're going to be faced with some sort of challenge along the ways. I don't want to say it, but I will, it's high.
High likelihood that there's gonna be challenges along the way. Any
I'm
dream.
not summoning those.
I'm not summoning
I'm not summoning those challenges.
No. But any dream worth action often has bumps in the road. So we can't just quit at the first bump in the road.
I was just gonna say, it's kind of funny, but if, you know, our daughter, if you want a good lesson in stubborn determination, try to get her to eat a vegetable she's never seen before. There's absolutely no possible way she's being moved, right? And I always say, like, this is a positive trait that she has, because channeled into going after her life dreams or goals or whatever,
Right.
there's nothing that could make her let go,
Right.
because there's no way she's eating that bean.
Yeah. It is. It can be channeled in positive directions, and it can be used for good.
There's gonna be beans on your road in life.
There's gonna be beans on every road in life.
Step over them.
So not giving up in the presence of challenge or difficulty, learning from the challenges and being willing to make adjustments are all ways that we can practice our perseverance.
About looking back and seeing how much you've already done?
Yeah, you can look back and see how far you've already come. That's a good thing to do every now and then. You know, just turn around where you are. Wow, you know, I've come a long way.
Yeah, presence.
Yeah.
Right now is good too.
Yes, right now is good, right where I am. Is there anything else that wants to be spoken about anything this morning, Chris?
I'd like to share what Jenny sent us, or
Oh, yeah.
she's the,
So I received this but did not read it while I was doing this. And then he brought this to me.
so she's the caseworker for the Goodwater Crossing Micro Shelter Project. And it's those affirmation cards, spirit cards, and this one's called Perseverance. It says, it seems like you're on a massive journey right now. Okay. And this card has arrived to remind you that you will reach the other side. The mountain you're climbing is huge and formidable, but so is your ability to climb it. You don't need to enjoy it, you just need to tackle it. Complain if it makes the job easier. Blow off steam. You think mountain climbers get to the top of Everest on inspirational quotes? No way. No way, they're grunting and crying and cursing like freaking pirates. That just doesn't sell a lot of posters.
Thank you.
This is a really good topic for me today.
Uh-huh.
because of how far I've come with my book, and then I just kind of stand still and I keep saying I need to get $200 to buy books, I need to do this, I need to do that, and I just keep not doing it. And that book is supposed to be in the world, and I know it, and it's a wonderful book, and I just got to kick my butt and start really seeing what I can do to get it out there.
There you go.
So thank you for today.
You're welcome. So I'd like to close with 4 different relatively short quotes. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and kind of take these in as a meditation. And then I'll leave a little bit of space in between for you to just let it soak in. The first one is from American diplomat Madeleine Albright. It comes from one of her memoirs. And she was speaking of her life's many challenges and setbacks. She said, "They are not what I will take with me as I move to life's next chapter. In the world where I choose to live, even the coldest winter must yield to agents of spring. And the darkest hue of human nature must eventually find room for shafts of light." And she concludes with an ode to perseverance. She says, "I have spent a lifetime looking for remedies for all manner of life's problems, personal, social, political, global. I believe that we can recognize truth when we see it, just not at first, and not without ever relenting in our effort to know more. This is because the goal we see and the good we hope for comes not as a final reward, but as the hidden companion to our quest. It is not what we find, but the reason we cannot stop looking and striving that tells us why we are here." In other words, she's saying that it is perseverance that leads us to discover our life's purpose. And from Bishop Mary Ann Edgar Buddy in her book, How We Learn to Be Brave, "Perseverance is the hidden virtue in every courageous life. Rarely do we see what it costs others to do what seems effortless to us. Nor do we know what it took for them to carry on when they were tired or discouraged, or to start again after failure or disappointment. Wherever we find ourselves in relation to the decisive moments that set us on our life's trajectory, perseverance is what allows us to keep going, even when we're stumbling in the dark. Perseverance is what keeps us going in the days without drama." And finally, a call to perseverance from theologian Reinhold Niebuhr. He's the one who wrote the Serenity Prayer. He says, "Nothing worth doing can be achieved in a lifetime. Therefore, we must be saved by hope. Nothing that is true or beautiful or good makes complete sense in any immediate context of history. Therefore, we must be saved by faith. Nothing we do, however virtuous, can be accomplished alone. Therefore, we are saved by love. So I'm going to close with a brief prayer. One source, one life, one love, eternal, no beginnings, no endings. I am that. You are that. And so I move into the week, and I invite you to do the same, living from that. Love embodied. That is all. I choose to live every moment grounded in the presence of the fierce, active love of Spirit. As I move through my week, my thoughts and words and actions reflect and express willingness, courage, and perseverance as I move from dream to action. My thoughts, words, and actions are beacons of faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. I live a life surrendered to the creative power of Spirit, inviting, allowing, and welcoming that power to move through me. And as I do, my life is made graceful. I am a blessing in the world. And so grateful to the one power, the one source for all that is, I release this prayer now in absolute faith in its coming into form and experience. Every moment from here forward is answered prayer. So I let it be, and so it is.
So it is.
Amen. Yay. Thank you for being here today. We're going to bring this part of the morning to a close and move on to our luncheon of comfort food today. But before we, But before we do, we'd like to invite you to join in the celebration of the work that we're doing in the world by sharing of your financial good, should you choose to. If you're at home, you can go to mysticheart.org and you'll find our donate button and our mailing address. We're an independent, self-supporting organization, and your financial gifts are what make it possible for us to do our work and to provide this beautiful and really comfortable space for us to gather. We thank you in advance for your generous hearts. We acknowledge and give thanks to the infinite for its abundance moving through our community. So I'm going to invite Dalton to share one more song as we take part in spiritual practice of circulation. As you sow, so shall you reap.
This is one you'll probably want to clap and snap and stomp along with.
Ready to clap these things?
Nope. What's going on? You gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, child, you gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. You may be high, you may be low, you may be rich, child, you may be poor. But when the Lord is ready, You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move. You gotta move, child. You gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. They put old Daniel in the lion's den. He did not worry, the Lord was his friend. When the Lord is ready, that lion's gotta move. You gotta move, you gotta move, you gotta move, child, you gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. Said when the Lord is ready, you gotta move. When the Lord is ready, you gotta move. Yeah.
Sound like I was sitting in the amen pew back there. Thank you, Spirit, for this day, for the energy, for the love, just the fun, and the inspiration that has rippled through this place today. Thank you, Spirit, for these gifts, for prospering your beloved community, and we pledge to honor these gifts and steward them wisely. And so we receive them with a grateful heart. And so it is. Dalton, take us home.
All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand, and we are changing. A whole new life for you and me, take a path to set free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, spirit lift you, breathe it in, truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you until we meet again. Love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, love be with you, ooh, love be with you. I'll be with you. Ooh, 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 I'll be with you. Love be with you.
For being here.
Thank you, Dalton, for your beautiful
Yes,
music.
thank you, Dalton.